Good evening. It's Friday evening once again here in New York City, and you're tuning into August Nights. I'm your host for this evening, August Shin. I hope you've been well. We apologize for the past few weeks as the team and I have been away for the holidays. Yeah, we've been gone, we've been on vacation, everybody's been doing their thing. We work in a media organization, so it's kind of hard for us to take vacations during the holidays. So while you guys are on your vacations, we're out here working, and then when you guys are back to work, we're on vacation. That's just kind of how it works, but it's okay. We're all just kind of here now, feeling the post-vacation sad vibes. But it's about time we got back into the groove of things, and what better way to do it than come on this show, August Nights. I hope you guys have really, truly been well, and hope you guys have been handling the cold. I mean, January and February here in New York City in particular has been somewhat cold and somewhat sort of mood swingy. What's the word here? Bipolar? What's the word I'm looking for? It's just freezing cold one day, and then the next day we're out here in t-shirts and light sweatpants, just going for jogs and going for bike runs because the weather is all of a sudden 50, 60 degrees. And then the day after that, it's snowing and it's 20 degrees. So it's all over the place, regardless of the weather and the weather conditions itself. We hope you guys have been well. And we want to just get right back into it with some more delicious music. Our first song of the evening is going to be a song that I heard recently while I was on vacation. A throwback by Lee Sang. It's called TV를 껐네. And we'll talk about it when we get back right here on FM 92.3 now.
난 TV를 껐어 새빨간 네 입술 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 커튼을 쳤어 새빨간 네 입술 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 TV를 껐어 새빨간 네 입술 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 컷대를 쳤어 새빨간 네 입술
내 눈엔 컸던 선보다 아름다운 너의 몸매 검은 머리 너만의 향기에 나는 녹네 때로 몰래 은큼한 상상을 해 그러다 욕심이 솟네 TV를 보다가도 거리를 걷다가도 시도 때도 없이 난 너를 원해 못 참아 어떻게 손만 잡아 딱딱하게 말하지마 네가 날 딱딱하게 만들었잖아 널 너무 사랑해 내 모든 걸 다 주고 네 모든 걸 다 갖고 싶어 더 가까이 널 안고 싶어 내 몸을 적시고 엉덩이 토닥토닥하고 싶어
이 밤이 새도록 보여주고 싶어 어제와 또 다른 내 모습에 눈물까지 흘릴 거야 이 밤이 새도록 보여주고 싶어 넌 너무 사랑스러워 언제나 나를 설레게 만들어 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 TV를 껐어 새빨간 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 컷대를 쳤어 새빨간
저 혼자 갑자기 커튼을 왜 쳐 잘 보고 있는 TV는 또 왜 꺼 그런 눈으로 왜 또 분위기 잡아 피곤해 그냥 난 잘래 네 품에서 꿈꾸고 싶어 밤새 그만 좀 보채 오늘만 날이 아니잖아 좀 참아 착하지 내 남자 그냥 코 자자 삐지지 말고 내 손을 잡아 어린애처럼 왜 또 등을 돌려 못 말려 너란 남자 정말 웃겨 생각해볼게 어서 가서 볼 거
이대로는 잠 못 자요 넌 너무 아름다워 난 오늘 이 밤을 보내기엔 아쉬워요 오늘은 안 된단 말 마요 그만 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 TV를 껐어 새빨간 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 컷대를 쳤어 새빨간 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 TV를 껐어 새빨간 널 너무나 사랑해서 난 컷대를 쳤어 새빨간 설레게 만들어
That was TV를 껐네 by Lee-sang, a rap duo in Korea that us 90s babies all know and love. These two are absolute legends in the Korean music space, and by these two I mean their two members, Gary and Kil. Those two youngs, they've been around for a very, very long time. They've been around since the Honey Family Collective, the rap group, way, way long ago. And while unfortunately they are disbanded now, there's nothing more that I wish than for them to make a comeback and to return with another album, because these two are so, so, so good. And quite frankly, if I'm being completely honest, I think the Korean music space and the listeners haven't given them the love and flowers and support that they deserve. I think they're very underappreciated, and I just feel like they're underrated in some sense in the Korean music space. They're especially in the more mainstream space. Them two are known more for their appearances on variety shows like Dojan and like Running Man. But let me tell you, these two are music gods, and I just feel like Korea needs to show them a bit more love in that sense. And this track featured on their hit 7th album, Asura 발발타, which was released back in 2011. My goodness, where has the time gone? If you're the type of music listener who likes to listen to just hits on albums and just listens to singles and just the popular stuff, that's cool too. But I highly recommend you go and give this entire album a listen. And quite frankly, the entire Lee-sang discography a listen if you have not had the chance to, because I promise you, you won't regret it. Now, the song was released back in 2011, and during that time, I was working as a busboy at a chicken restaurant during my off days in college and during whatever time I could find. I was just trying to make money on the side because I had a girlfriend at the time, and boy, did she love to eat steak. So I had to do whatever it took to make money. And she was a sweetheart, and she always wanted to make sure that I knew that she wasn't about us going out all the time and you know, paying for expensive meals, especially during those times when you're students in college. My goodness, a $20 meal, geez, that was like, that broke your bank. But rather than focusing on school, all I did was try and figure out ways to please her. So I just remember working day in, day out, just at that chicken restaurant, wiping down tables, doing dishes, everything I could to make an extra few bucks so I could take her out for dinner. And I also used to do this Saturday and Sunday morning shifts. And let me tell you, sometimes I also even used to do like Friday morning shifts whenever I didn't have classes. And during those morning shifts, there's nobody that comes to eat chicken. I mean, there are the few that like walks in at like 10:30 and like knocks on the window. They're like, "Yeah, I want fried chicken." I'm like, "Yo, dude, our kitchen's not even open." But nobody usually used to come in. And when you're the only one working the hall with there's zero customers, you pretty much just get to stand around the monitors, watch the music videos that come on the screen. Especially in Korean restaurants, they have this what's the word, trend, where they have these huge monitors across the restaurant, and they just play K-pop music videos. Most of the times the songs don't even align the music because they can't play the entire song in sync with the music video for some reason. It might be a copyright issue, but anyways, they used to put these music videos on, and I used to just sit there and watch it and listen to songs and just jam out by myself because there's nobody else there. You know, it's like you're not even doing anything, you get paid for it, so why not just enjoy your time and listen to the music, right? And of course, I used to get the job done. Don't worry, I wasn't a bad worker. Don't worry, I had the sauces ready. I got the pickle radish downstairs. I made the settings. You know what I mean? Don't worry, I got the job done, and then I was listening to the music. But the music video for this song, which is the conversation for today, is a very interesting one because not interesting because it was poorly made. In fact, it was very good. But it was interesting due to its relation to the lyrics. And if you guys are non-Korean speakers, that's fine. You guys can go find the translations. If you guys are Korean listeners and you guys do really hone in on the lyrics are somewhat, what's the word I'm looking for? Risque? Somewhat naughty. It speaks of a relationship between a man and a woman, and he basically wants to get it going. You know what I mean? And he wants to get it going, and the woman also wants to get it going, but she's sort of more coming from a more timid perspective, whereas the man is just showing his hormonal instincts. I don't know if that's the right word, but I think the song does a very, very good job of maintaining a good balance of the subtlety as well as the hormonal expressions of both man and woman. And In no way, shape, or form am I classifying or am I generalizing the two different genders, but the song does a very, very good job of trying to kind of paint a picture of what it's like to be in a room with a man and a woman who's about to make love. And it speaks about, for example, the title of the song, TV를 껐네, which is turning off the TV. So, just when you're about to get it cracking, you turn off the TV, you close the curtains, you know what I mean? You do the things that you need to do, right? But the balance between the subtlety and the hormonal expression of both genders in this song is actually really, really well done. So I love it. But going back full circle, the reason why it's interesting is because the music video itself is actually very innocent. And the music video itself is it's a stop frame music video, so it's basically a collage of pictures, but that's put together into a music video. And I know some of you, cinephiles, and I know some of you, videographers will be like, "Oh, John, if you know the technology behind cameras, it's pretty much the same concept." Yeah, no, I get it. What I'm trying to say is that it's a stop frame of a music video. So it's you take one picture, you move, you take the next picture, you move, so on and so forth. And it's very sweet and innocent. And I thought that the balance between the music video and the song was an interesting choice, but a fun one, because Lee Sang, while they're not the most aggressive and the most expletive sort of rappers, they do push, especially during those times, they did push the boundaries just a bit more than your average Korean hip hop artist. And I really loved that and respected that about them. And this music video pretty much does the entire opposite, while the lyrics are actually speaking about those things. So I thought it was very, very fun. And I remember I used to just sit there and I used to listen to the song and I used to watch the music video over and over again, because the song was an absolute hit when it released back in 2011. And the kitchen staff would come outside sometimes and they would just watch me. And I just remember them used to remember them used to making fun of me, because I used to just sit there and I used to just sing the song over and over again. And yeah, they used to make fun of me. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that blurb, because that was actually the story of our day. Because we were away for a few weeks, we didn't manage to collect any of the stories from you guys that might have submitted. So I do apologize if you guys submitted anything. Please go ahead and do submit them again. We'd love to hear from you guys. And with that in mind, I'd like to take us to the next song, and it's another beautiful favorite of mine. It's called Nights Falling by John Park.
숨겨진 것들 그 안에 우린 알지 모른 척해 넌 숨 위로 떠오른 내 안의 감정들이 더 부풀어 변해가는 듯해 우리에겐 이제 사소한 것도 다 유의미해 좋아하던 영화 속 그 장면 어디쯤에 있을까 너와 난 Night falling 떨어지는 노을 끝에서 내 안에 짙어지는 너를 느껴 sweet gloom truth be told 너와 난 같은 시간을 걷고 있어 Night falling 두 눈에 널 담아두고서 유난히 붉어진 두 볼을 숨겨 Yes I know truth be told 너와 난 같은 곳을 향하고 있어 너로 가득한 이 시간을 헤매는 이 순간 차올라 좀 답답해도 그 황홀함 속에 우릴 가둘래 좋아하던 영화 속 그 장면 어디쯤에 있을까 너와 난 나의 falling 떨어지는 노을 끝에서 내 안에 짙어지는 너를 느껴 sweet gloom truth be told 너와 난 같은 시간을 걷고 있어 나의 falling 두 눈에 널 담아두고서 유난히 붉어진 두 볼을 숨겨 yes I know truth be told 너와 난 같은 곳을 향하고 있어 이 밤이 지나면 알게 될까 Oh we'll know it's sunrise You and I 나의 falling 두 눈에 널 담아두고서 유난히 붉어진 두 볼을 숨겨 yes I know truth be told 너와 난 같은 곳을 향하고 있어
You know, before the break, we spoke about the underrated aspect and the undervalued aspect of Lee Sung. I also think John Park is such an underrated talent. He was a favorite of mine back when he first debuted. He featured in American Idol. He also featured in the Korean variety music talent show Superstar K, or was it K-pop Star? I think it was Superstar K because it was the older times. Yeah, but John Park was one of those guys that I knew that he was going to be what's the word I'm looking for? A cult favorite? Because he doesn't look like your typical musician that's going to be the mainstream artist that every mother, father, and child is going to love. And quite frankly, without being without trying to be disrespectful at all, he wasn't the type to win first place, right? He was the type of musicians that I like, the type of musicians that's the cult favorite, or somebody that's the underdog in some sense. He might not contain the vocal range of any other musicians that might have featured on the shows, but for me, he was a winner because his mellow, almost sultry vocal color is very special. He showed us that you don't necessarily have to have the vocal range of musicians like Mariah Carey to be considered a good singer. It's about finding the right pitch, it's about finding the right tone, it's about finding the right vocal range. And John Park is one of those musicians, and I think his vocal color in particular, like I mentioned, is very, very special. And I think he needs to be appreciated a bit more in the K-music industry now. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's songs because if I'm being completely honest, they sort of represent how I've been feeling over the past few weeks. Now, I don't want to use our platform here on our show August Nights to make it a therapy session, but I was told by my therapist friend that sometimes it's okay to just speak your mind, so I hope you can understand. I'm actually in the process of preparing for a move. I'm moving out of my apartment here, and I'm moving a bit more east. Geographically, is that east? Yes, it's east. I'm moving east, and I'm going to a bit more of a spacious, more quieter place, and yeah, it sounds like an old soul kind of thing to do. But unfortunately, that's the way it came out to be. I'm going to be moving out to a much more spacious and warm space. But ironically, now that I'm spending more time sort of getting ready and cleaning the new place and trying to figure out the new setting and trying to figure out where's the couch going, where's the TV going, doing a lot of those things and spending time in that new place makes it kind of feel, ironically, just as empty and cold. And obviously, it might feel empty because it really is empty now, and none of the stuff has been moved in yet. But maybe it's because of the fact that I'm moving into a much more spacious place on my own. Right now, here in my apartment, it's a one-bedroom apartment that I share with a roommate. But this new space is a lot more spacious, and it just kind of makes me feel like, do I need all that space right now? Am I feeling loneliness, or is it just a bit of the awkwardness that's creeping in and settling in now that I'm about to settle into a new place. I don't know, but if there's one thing for certain, I feel like bigger isn't always better. I feel like I might have been better off with a more cozier one-bedroom apartment somewhere, or even a studio. But anyways, that's just me speaking my mind. It's already that time of the evening, and unfortunately we must depart. But before I do, I want to take this moment to thank you all for listening. And please, 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 if you guys are listening, if you guys found me somewhere on YouTube, if you guys listen to us on Instagram, wherever you found us, please leave us a comment and let us know what your thoughts are on our show so far. Because now it's 2022. We want to make sure we start off the year properly and in good fashion. So please do so, and of course, submit your stories as always. You guys can find us on our social media. You guys can submit them below. You guys can submit them anywhere. You know what I mean? Go. Write those stories and let us know, because we'd love to hear from you guys. We'll be closing out our show with the last song of the evening. It's a beautiful ballad from another amazing musician that I absolutely adore and respect. We've heard from him before. His name is Sung Shi-kyung, and it's called 두 사람, or Two People. Good night.
지친 하루가 가고 달빛 아래 두 사람 하나의 그림자 눈 감으면 잡힐 듯 아련한 행복이 아직 저기 있는데 상처 입은 너의 꿈마저 그늘을 드리워도 기억해줘 아프도록 사랑하는 사람이 곁에 있다는 걸 때로는 이 길이 멀게만 보여도 서글픈 마음에 눈물이 흘러도 모든 일이 추억이 될 때까지 우리 두 사람 서로의 쉴 곳이 되어주리 걸을 때 어디로 가야 할지 길이 보이지 않을 때 기억할게 너 하나만으로 눈이 부시던 그날의 세상을 여전히 서툴고 또 부족하지만 언제까지나 네 곁에 있을게 캄캄한 밤 길을 잃고 헤매도 우리 두 사람 서로의 등불이 되어주리 먼 훗날 무지개 저 너머에 우리가 찾던 꿈 거기 없다 해도 그대와 나 함께 보내는 지금 이 시간들이 내겐 그보다 더 소중한 것 때로는 이 길이 멀게만 보여도 서글픈 마음에 눈물이 흘러도 모든 일이 추억이 될 때까지 우리 두 사람 서로의 쉴 곳이 되어 서툴고 또 부족하지만 언제까지나 곁에 있을게 모진 바람 또다시 불어와도 우리 두 사람
거친 세월을 지나 가리